Pokemon GO's field test is still going on in Japan, and in fact, if you're listening to our show from Australia or New Zealand, they just expanded the field test to your region, so you can sign up to try and join in early. But thanks to the field test, we've got tons more footage and screenshots for you to check out, so you can see gameplay of battles, eggs, collection, and more. We've also got more gameplay details, and as always, it's a pretty hefty round of info, so be sure to read the full story at Gamnesia if you want to know the whole shebang. But the biggest takeaway we learned is that the Pokemon battles happen in real time instead of being turn-based like the main series games. So you'll have your 4 attacks, you tap on an attack to use it right away, or you can hold it down to charge it up and do more damage. You'll swipe across the screen to dodge. Pokeball physics are like a little game of skill, so it'll be really involved. And I think that that's a refreshing change of pace from the main series, which is what a mobile spin-off should be.
Yeah, obviously we haven't seen any footage of it yet, but just based on the descriptions we've read, I think it sounds really exciting. You've got kind of like a little stamina meter, and so if you charge your attacks, it takes up more stamina, whereas if you just tap them, it only takes a little, and you can dodge. So it's, making it real time is, I think, going to make it a lot more engaging, and at the same time using just a really simple control scheme, just, tap or swipe or hold down.
Sure.
Like, I think they found a good way to make it interesting and engaging for players, while at the same time also keeping it just super simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising to me that they're departing kind of as far as they are from the old turn-based formula, because as we saw on DS, that already worked really well with touchscreens. But at the same time, I think it's interesting and, like Ben said, exciting that they're taking a leaf out of what other kind of established RPG properties are doing, and they're trying to find ways to make alternatives to turn-based systems work. I know turn-based systems, we love them, and for us, they're fine, for us longtime gamers. But for new players, turn-based systems aren't necessarily appealing or attractive.
Clyde, you have to wait your turn. That's lame. No, Clyde, it's like olden times. You have to wait your turn, like in the Middle Ages, Clyde. I
think this is a good compromise for people that want battles in Pokemon Go.
Especially.
Right, and
for
for casual mobile players, for sure. So I think it's a good direction for the series. I'm excited to see if they bring any of these new mechanics into the traditional games, because as I was just saying, the turn-based games are kind of falling out of vogue with new players, and that's something I could see them kind of trying to carry over into the main games.
I don't know how much they'd carry it over. I mean, Pokemon is pretty conservative with its gameplay formula, and I don't mean 8 gyms and the Elite Four by that. I mean just the fact that, for example, in 2016, it's still based on a grid. The grass is copy and pasted over for every tile. Stuff like that.
I think a lot of these holy grails of gameplay, at least, that we've seen with a lot of these series are not necessarily going to hold fast and true forever. In particular, the grid. That was a good example. But
I mean, I agree, but I don't see them doing it soon.
Yeah, I don't see them taking a main series Pokemon game and replacing the combat with this system, but I could see them doing sort of, they have the various different kinds of Pokemon contests in different games, so I could see them using a different sort of control scheme for something like that.
Yeah. There are lots of those ways that they sort of play around within the main series games without playing around with the core formula that makes up the brunt of the story and the brunt of the journey. Hello everybody, thank you for listening to this Nintendo Week clip, NWC. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to us here on YouTube for more highlights and discussion videos from Nintendo Week podcast, or subscribe to us on iTunes for weekly breakdowns of all your Nintendo news, discussion segments on subjects, games, and more, and tons of other features. Thanks for listening, and we will see you tomorrow with another NWC.